Nebraska will be kicking with the wind and will have the ball with the wind when they get it, and in the fourth quarter, which is important to their head coach. And it goes through for a touchback. And one of only 3 players that Jonathan Smith brought with him from Corvallis, Oregon, out of Oregon State. Quick pitch to Mekhi Frazier, and Frazier bounces off the first band of tacklers, manages to pick up 4 yards out to the 29-yard line, and that's where it'll be second down for Michigan State. Elijah Tolliver is in and has moved at wide receiver. They go empty, and it's a quick out, and Tolliver just dropped it. Ball hit him right in the middle of the 4, and it fell free. Third down and 6 coming up. Mekhi Frazier remains the setback. Go with an extra tight end. Blitz coming up the middle, and down goes Childs at the 16-yard line. Bringing in the heat, Javen Wright, the linebacker, and he had plenty of help. Down went Frazier, but there was no block. And we've got markers down pre-snap.
False start. Offense number 2. 5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
Our referee, the affable Jeff Cervinsky, one of the really enjoyable guys to be around in this game. Jonathan Smith, as we mentioned, now in his second year. I think this was a whale of a hire by the Spartans, picking him up. He'll get the program right back where it was before really soon. The roster is already measurably better than it was a season ago. So Corey Barney, after the line drive punt and a quality return, gets it into Michigan State territory after the 14-yard return on a low 43-yard punt. Great field position to open for Big Red. Emmett Johnson, the do-everything running back, he catches a lot of passes out of that position in the backfield with Raiola. And he takes it on first down. He maybe gets a yard, and that's all. Opening year 4 here at Nebraska. You think of year 3, what it could mean. It's always been really good. But year 4, even after that, can become even greater. Again, a check down, and he takes Johnson. As we mentioned, he catches a lot of passes out of the backfield. Play fake, bootleg action, and Raiola's going to run for the first down. And then take a knee, so to speak.
Also very excited to have their guy back.
You bet. Those 2 linebackers are their best players on that side of the ball. Oh, that was a nice dig route, but broken up. Dane Key, the transfer that came in from Kentucky, and the pass breakup from Malcolm Bell, number 14, the senior out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. 3 wide receiver set. Little hitch out to Barney. Well defended sideline to sideline by these linebackers and corners. That's Joshua Eaton, number 7. Blitz coming off the edge. Raiola lets it fly. The tight end Lindemeyer. Marker is down as he goes down at the 24-yard line.
Prior to the pass being thrown, holding, defense number 2.
Oh.
10-yard penalty results in an automatic first down.
Johnson checks back in at running back. Ball at the 24. Extra tight end out there. 12 personnel. Emmett Johnson, first down to the 10.
You got to get to the second level if you want explosive runs, and that's what this offensive line does. They do a nice job of covering up those linebackers, and if you do that, Emmett Johnson has a chance. I'm just telling you, when we talked to Dana Holgorsen, he said, listen, he is Christian McCaffrey, but the rest of the country, they don't know it yet. He can catch the ball in the backfield, and obviously, as you can see, he's explosive as a runner.
Having over 400 rushing yards this year with that, and you add to that the all-purpose yards as a receiver that we touched on. He is, in many ways, mirroring McCaffrey. Into the end zone, incomplete. Number 27 was in coverage there, the transfer from Texas Tech. Raiola calls his own number. Inside the 5, down to near the 2. Here's Harburg in the game. Kid played in this game against Michigan State in 2023. They run reverse. Johnson behind Harburg. Touchdown. And he is a brilliant play caller. Kyle Buchanan. mentioned before, you think about offenses run as an offensive coordinator. Dana Holgorsen hadn't been one since his days at Oklahoma State, 8, 9, and 10. You follow that up with what he's done now. He's either been number 1 or number 2 in passing yards as an offensive coordinator while coordinating at the collegiate level. He's a stud in calling plays. Again, with the wind, it's a touchback. From the 25, their second series, Mekhi Frazier again at running back. They'll use at least 3 before the afternoon is done. Frazier looking for a crease anywhere in there, none to be found. John Butler, former Bills NFL coordinator and assistant coach, now running the defense, has been since the end of last year, again, along with Holgorsen. Second down and 9. Childs. Senior out of KC, McCullough. Their best rusher, without question, out of that jack position. Brandon Tellis is now in the backfield. Childs again. Gets it. Little receiver screen to Nick Marsh, who gets as much as he can after the catch, about 6 of those 8 yards. And they're a couple of yards away from a first down and will be forced to punt it again. Against this win, they're really going to rely on Eckley, who led the Big Ten in punting last year, averaging just under 48 per punt. A 2-time all Big Ten punter. And we've got pre-snap flags again, and if you back them up and they're already kicking against the wind, it could go from bad to worse here.
Play the game.
Oh boy.
On the offense, snapping the ball when it wasn't ready for play. It's a 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
I don't know that I've ever seen that on a punt.
I don't think I have either.
Barney again, who had a nice return to get him in positive field position. There's a block! I mean, no chance, it's a touchdown! And the punter is hurt on top of everything else. Braden Prude with the touchdown. He recovered it. That ball was almost blocked before it was kicked. Cunanan for the extra point. John Hull is going to place kick it. And it's again through the end zone. You know what? I noticed on the replay, too, that Matt Rule was running down the sidelines, pointing it out to the officials. Great call, Mike. We appreciate it. Childs in trouble again. Gets a little help to Frazier, and this is going to go for a ways. That's a first down. What a wonderful ad-lib by Childs. Elijah Tolliver in the backfield now on 1st and 10. Ball is at the 37. Nice little curl, and Boyd with a beautiful spin to get free for additional yardage. First down and into Nebraska territory. Tullis remains in the game. Childs under center. Brandon Tullis is highly thought of. 2nd and 5. Again, great cut by Frazier. Mekhi Frazier with a first down. Well, that's the scouting report, right? Guthrie with the stop. Pound the rock against a Nebraska defense that has really been porous in defending the run.
Yeah, and you talked about Golban at the top of the show. Watch him here collect the defensive lineman and allow this run to happen. 51 in the middle of your screen does a nice job of collecting that nose guard and allowing his running back to get behind him and create a nice run.
Well, already 3 double-digit yard gains in this drive. 14, 12, and 10. Getting it done on the ground, and with that one pass, when Frazier hung back and Childs ad-lib. That's Frazier, stopped by Guthrie again. 3 tackles for him in the last 4 plays. Everyone in tight. Pressure coming from the linebackers inside. And again, a screen to the running back, Frazier. And it was really identified by Javen Wright, wearing the numeral 0, and it's a loss of a yard. He is quick. He needs 7, the line to make, the 24 of Nebraska. Childs, he's going to run it and power his way to within a yard of the first down. He gets it to the 25, so 6 of the 7. And Javen Wright again lays the leather. 3 out of 6 on 4th down tries. And that looks like he's got one. Make it 4 out of 7 after that first down. Childs, incomplete. Pass intended for the tight end, Velling. Boy, I saw a holding of a wide receiver that went uncalled. Second down and 10. Little delay to Frazier. Bouncing off some Huskers. Gets it down to the 20. 0 for 3 on third down so far. Let's see what Michigan State can do on 3rd and 7. Childs on the slant. Caught. Marsh. First and goal inside the 10. Smith.
These tight splits, you usually get over routes.
Frazier. Nothing doing. Second and goal. Trips to the bottom of your screen. Childs, nowhere to go. He just ran into a bunch of red.
The perfect defense, Tim, when you're having quarterback draw called by the offense, is to stunt the defensive line, right? Because now the targets for the offensive line, they move, and that's what Nebraska did on that play.
Markers down, a pump fake, and then on the late cross, a lot of contact against Kelly, and there comes the flag. A little late with the flag, but it does come down, so we're at least going to have one penalty for interference, if not a hold.
There are 2 fouls on the play against Nebraska. Offside, defense number 96. That penalty is declined. Pass interference, defense. That ball placed at the spot of the foul. Includes an automatic. First down.
He didn't say the number, did Cervinsky, but it was obvious it was single. Play fake, Childs in trouble and down. He got it off the edge and he got it from the middle. Elijah Judy, the nose guard, right up the gut. The big senior out of Philadelphia, PA. The first to get there, and Childs is slow to get up. Milivojevic now facing second and goal from way back at the 17. Crossing pattern complete to Marsh. And there's a young man that's played a lot of football too. Lepo, a 6'7", 316-pounder, started 12 games a season ago. Frazier in the backfield now on 3rd and goal.
If I'm a young quarterback coming in, I'm thinking Nick Marsh, who has single coverage to the top of your screen.
Why not? Looking for the edge, marker down. They'll get at least another opportunity after pass interference.
Pass interference. Defense number 1. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball be placed at the 2-yard line. Who's an automatic first down.
All right, here he is. He's in position, and he just grabs that back hip, right? He grabs that back hip, and that little tug, when you turn a wide receiver, they're going to get you for pass interference every single time, whether it's a big tug or a small tug. That's a nice pickup by the officials.
First and goal now from the 2 coming up. Frazier, the lone setback. Boyd in motion. Frazier to the 1. The big fullback, Jake Coyne, 44, is in. Frazier dots the I. Play fake. Back of the end zone, caught, touchdown, Jack Velling. You and Sarge could really handle a lot of phonetics.
Oh, yeah.
Your professors did a wonderful job.
How about Milivojevic, though, coming in cold off the bench?
They go to him inside the red zone many, many times and have been successful. So it's a 1-score game as we begin the quarter. Here we go. Now they start play here in the second quarter. As you mentioned, a good half an hour later, and Makai Nelson's in the backfield along with Isaiah Mosey, and Makai has a first down out to the 36-yard line, a gain of 11. We had a nice conversation yesterday with Raiola, and boy, oh boy, his presence. And we were with him a year ago before that Illinois game, which was week 4 of the regular season. So almost a year ago to the day, he has matured mightily. In traffic now, gets away and thinks better of it and ducks after picking up a couple. Jordan Hall with a stop. You know, he remembered after that loss to Illinois in overtime how immature perhaps he and his team looked in the overtime. They went on a 5-game losing skid after that, but finished strong with a bowl victory and a 7-6 record. Mosey's on up to about the 36-yard line. Alex Van Sumeren, number 91, with a stop. It's 3rd down and 5. Raiola Carries it again. He's going to be about a yard, maybe 2 shy of the first down to the 44. Archie Wilson will punt it away. Omari Kelly is back deep on 4th and 2.
There's been a trend in college football, always going forward, even in your own territory, but I like the decision to punt this ball away and force Michigan State to drive the football.
Watch out for that wind. That ball's way, way back. It's behind you if you're on special teams. Frazier trying to bounce it outside. Reverses field and is being run down. Numero uno, Sierra Wright, was a heat-seeking missile and was going to get there eventually, and Sierra is still on the field. He's still down. Looks like he's talking about a blindside block, but against whom?
Illegal blindside block.
Yep.
Offense number 66. 15-yard penalty from the Paulus foul.
Ashton Lepo again.
Yeah.
1st and 10 now. 1st and 25 after the penalty. Pressure off the edge. Childs with time. Dumps it to McCray. Krishan McCray gets back a lot of that lost yardage. Up to the 29, a gain of 14. Deshaun Singleton with the tackle. 2nd down, 11. Childs. Incomplete. That's rare to see Velling drop that.
The legs of Aiden Childs have created opportunities after the play has been stopped. Let's see if he can do it again here.
Huskers with 3 down linemen, but they bring pressure. Linebackers pressing. Pass incomplete for McCray. Childs elbowed that one just a bit. For Corey Barney all the way back at his 10. Calls for the fair catch. I thought he did. Here he goes. He's got plenty of space. Open space. He may take it the distance. Running to the boundary and finally tackled at the 27. Boy, I thought I saw his arm go up. He may have been shielding the sun.
Great special teams on the day. Their special teams have been special for Nebraska. Block punt and a nice return there.
Pressure off the edge. Raiola down. Malik Spencer, 43, his first sack, and Michigan State's first sack of the afternoon. 12 personnel. Extra tight ends in. Raiola wrapped up again. Great defensive pressure that time. And they weren't bringing the house. That's David Santiago, the edge rusher, the sophomore from Raleigh, North Carolina, that single-handedly got that job done. 3rd down and a pair of deuces, 22 to go. Line to make all the way down at the 16-yard line. And we've got a flag down on the pre-snap false start. Gunnar Gatula,
False start.
77.
Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
A lot of times in these long yardage situations, Michigan State loves to have middle open and then have a guy in the middle just kind of with no responsibility, making sure the ball's not.
All kinds of trouble for Raiola now. Helmet ripped off. Jalen Thompson took him down, and the helmet came free. Fans want a flag. All things considered, it was a bit physical. That's another loss of 15 yards. They still can't believe it as they see the helmet go off again.
Yeah, they have an argument.
They sure do. Kelly's back deep. Archie Wilson punts it away. And again, a poor punt against that wind. It's really difficult. Without that blocked punt, this game is tied. Brandon Tullis will tote it. Not much, maybe a yard, and that's all. Sierra Wright with the stop. Out of the shotgun, Childs. Looping it long, incomplete. Singleton is a mean, lean rushing machine.
The 5th 3rd and long opportunity for Michigan State.
Childs unloads it, and it airmailed, and Singleton got the pilfer. Deshaun Singleton, Tullis the intended receiver, and that time Childs just sort of nonchalant with the pass. It just hung in the air for a while. And oh, by the way, the wind is behind him, so it floated big time. 1st down, great field position for Emmett Johnson on 1st down. He gets ahead for 4. 2nd down and 6.
Michigan State came into today 101st in the country as far as getting sacks on the quarterback. Just one 1.5 this year. They've already got 2 in this game,
Yeah.
and they're continuing to get after the quarterback. And we talked about this in the open. Shoring up the protection was something they had to do.
Johnson. A couple of good moves there to get ahead for. Find a lot of mixing and matching with a lot of these programs, and there are more transfer portal guys by and large in the offensive line than anywhere else. Johnson stopped in his tracks, but may have enough for the first down. Ben Roberts, 55 with the tackle, but it was enough for the first down. That's the big transfer from Alabama out of Columbus, Georgia. Isaiah Mosey. Again, nothing doing. Push back. Malcolm Bell out of the shotgun. Mosey. Tell you, he's resourceful. I'll give him that. It's going to take more than a couple of people contacting him for him to go down. That's a gain of 5, and he did a lot of that on his own.
Right, so you get that motion by Barney. You see that it's not clear man coverage, right? So you're going to go to a zone beater if you're Nebraska.
3rd down 4. Safety blitz coming. Unloads it to Johnson. Emmett Johnson doesn't get as much help as he previously may have thought. Wayne Matthews all over that play. I think they felt like they had flooded the zone and there was a convoy coming to help Johnson. Raiola, who's only completed 3 out of 5 for 13 yards.
Remember the hard count too, Tim.
Is looking to get, if he can, 5 yards and a first down. In traffic again, they're all over him. Down he goes. Jalen Thompson, the first to get there. This time no headgear came off. First down, Michigan State. Frazier stretch play, cuts it up, gets to the 41, and that's about all. We'll give him a long 3. See what Brian Lindgren dials up here, the offensive coordinator. Childs dumps it underneath. Ooh, tipped. Could have been intercepted. Pass was a little behind Frazier. Both defensive fronts have been dominating the opposing team's O-lines. 1 out of 6 on 3rd downs, Michigan State in the first half. Low snap, pressure, pass, air nailed, intercepted. It's Singleton. Deshaun Singleton with his 2nd INT of the first half.
What are you saying? What are you saying there?
1 career interception coming in. He's got 2 today. Singleton. Emmett Johnson gets out front for about 6, maybe 7, and Malik Spencer with the stop.
Playing with middle open defense. Got big space in the middle of the
How
field.
about that angle on the pass? Carter Nelson, who has a touchdown recovery on that punt block, gets it to about the 35-yard line, about a yard shy of a first down.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Nebraska number 51.
Boy.
15-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's his leader too, Justin Evans. Johnson. Emmett Johnson gets it to respectable locations at the 41. Jalen Thompson with a stop. It is 4th down. Well, end over end Aussie punt. Their defensive fronts have dominated the opposition's offensive lines, regardless of who you're rooting for. Childs hopes to have that victory formation at the end of the game, but at halftime, he's trailing by 7. Both defensive coordinators probably feel pretty good. They can say that they were able to take care of some of their issues.
Of course.
After the bye week. And Nebraska will have the football at the 25. Listen, if you want to get the ball out quickly, 1, 2, 3, throw it, that's fine. But at 3, he's had someone in his face. Little wide receiver screen out to Isaiah Hunter. And he jitterbugs his way up for a first down to about the 39-yard line. Every great coordinator that's seen what he's seen is going to say, let's simplify as easily as possible. Emmett Johnson forges ahead for 4. 2nd down and 6. Nice cutback by Johnson to get a little something out of that. It will be a 3rd and manageable. Jordan Hall, the middle linebacker, 3 of 7 on 3rd downs for the day, but 0 for their last 4 opportunities. And this is a 3rd and long 3. Tried to underarm that one. It was blocked by Cam Williams, 44. Omari Kelly is back deep in single safety at his 20. At an 83-yarder against Youngstown State earlier this year. Uh-oh, it's a fake. Look out.
He didn't get it.
No, he didn't. He's short of it by a yard. That's Heinrich Harburg, the up back. Snapped it to him. They're trying to steal a possession. I'm a little surprised because they're going against the wind that they would try this in these circumstances.
So impressive by Michigan State, and specifically number 23 and right on your screen, Darius Snow, of the discipline, understanding what's my job. He sees it right away, and he gets there and shoots that near hip to make sure he stops that conversion from happening.
That big-time play stayed home, and the former quarterback, current tight end, Heinrich, who made a big play to help them get a touchdown.
Hey, Tim, that decision was forced by the wind.
It was.
We've seen those bad punts, and I'm sure he's like, why? Why not give it a try and see if they fall asleep? Great job by Snow.
Yep. Makai Frazier's the setback with the ball at the 49-yard line of Nebraska. Frazier. Talk about anemic offenses. Each team is averaging 2.5 yards per play. That's where we are in this game. Vincent Shavers gets in for the TFL. John Butler's got to be pleased with his defense.
I don't think they're going man-to-man defense. You got to get to your best option if you're Aiden Childs.
Four-man front. Plenty of time for Childs. Now he's flushed. Checks it down to Frazier. And look at those Huskers. Man, they are arriving at once and in a bad humor. Cameron Linhart with the stop after the gain of 6. I mean, that was like bees to honey. Well, 4th and 6, and they're not playing field position. They're going to go for it with that wind at their backs here in the third quarter. Childs, he's going to take it himself. He's got the first down. I'll tell you more about that when time permits. There's a quick pitch to the wide side to Tullis. Nothing doing again. Javen Wright leads the way.
In these second and long situations, this is not where you want to be if you're Michigan State. And this is an opportunity for Nebraska's defense to really put them behind the chains even further.
Out of the shotgun, they go empty. 5 wides. Oh, he pulls it down quickly. Look at that move. He spins inside the 30 down to the 29. After that rush by Aiden Childs, they have 103 total yards of offense, Michigan State. Here he goes again. Javen Wright the stop, move the chains, he gets the first down.
This is an opportunity for big play action and try to get the ball behind these safeties that are low.
Yeah, Smith's a little dinged after that last run when he took himself down. He fell awkwardly in the game with USC, I thought, and as good an athlete as he is, Devin, sometimes quarterbacks have to learn how to slide or how to take themselves down. I've got a replay to show him of you trying to sit down. That might help him in the future.
Oh my gosh.
Once again, Frazier hammered by Vincent Shavers.
Tim,
I got you there. You okay, or are you just emotionally scarred?
Oh, I'm emotionally scarred for sure. My chair somehow disappeared, and down goes Devin.
Third down and 6. Big play for the Nebraska D. Frazier. He's going to have about 4 of those yards. He'll still be 3 shy of a first down. Waneri with the tackle again. 96 is getting around. 2 out of 2 on 4th downs today. 4th down and 4 coming up. They will turn down a 3, which would be a chip shot with the wind at their backs, and go for it here. Frazier's the setback out of the gun. Pressure off the edge. Childs, he's going to ad-lib again. Inside the 5, touchdown. Wow. Yeah. Superman's put the cape back on.
The legs of Aiden Childs was the MVP of that drive.
One of the reasons in our meetings yesterday, a defensive-minded coach always, Matt Rule, said, you know what? We'll take the ball as often as we can. And Raiola with time, but it's picked off right into the arms of Jordan Hall. That's the most time he's had all day to get rid of one. and he threw it right to number 5. He was ejected for targeting in the first half, missed the entire second half, and that was a half in which Michigan State made a nice comeback against USC, had a chance to think about winning that game in the late third quarter. His first career interception. And this one is caught by Nick Marsh. 1st and 10 from the 25 of Nebraska. Childs with time. Incomplete. Again, that ball is sailing on him some with the wind aiding it. I think that figured into that first interception he threw. 2nd and 10. Quick pitch to the boundary location, and Tullis is wrapped up behind the line at the 30-yard line. And again, tackles for losses, getting behind the chains. Deshaun McCullough, 2 out of 10 on thirds, 3 out of 3 on fourths, and it's 3rd and 15.
Screen and draw, or an easy run.
Frazier, look out. Spinning around, he's going to be only a couple of yards, maybe just 1 yard shy of the first down. That's a great run.
This is something I wouldn't even think about, Tim. I wouldn't think about it. My quarterback has run the ball great. Yeah. I'm going to put him in a Q power situation where he's the quarterback. He's got a lead blocker. You get plus in the run game, go pick up the first down.
Frazier is behind him. It's a pitch to Frazier, and he cuts it back up. He's got it. First down. Whew.
I know every Michigan State fan is thinking, oh my goodness, that was close.
Yep.
Oh,
we've got an injured Singleton.
That is not good to see.
Singleton is down. You're right.
The heartbeat of that defense in the back end.
Frazier the lone setback. First down and 10. Bootleg action again. Out to Omari Kelly. He was out of bounds. He made a quick move, but he was already out of the field of play. Andrew Marshall, number 10, was over there, the junior out of Eastville, Carolina. 2nd down and 1 after a gain of 9.
That's a really nice effort by Omari Kelly because he almost stays inside the out of bounds line. You can see there he kind of slips and almost falls out, but he stays on his feet somehow and almost gets in the end zone. 2 tight ends up there. Hard play action.
Yep. Power play indeed, and Childs, touchdown. I mean, and give Jay Coyne, 44, some credit too. Boy, oh boy, was that power.
Tim,
man,
a 6-yard quarterback sneak touchdown.
Hello.
Oh my. Wow.
Childs, who's been the MVP of the third quarter, gets the touchdown on one of the longest quarterback sneaks for a touchdown you'll ever see, of 4 yards. Yeah, the 6'3", 238-pounder out of Fredericksburg, Virginia. Big-time talent. Ball is tipped, almost picked. Oh, boy.
Nebraska needs a reset.
Yeah, it was
they need something good to happen so that everybody can get a reset, Raiola and Barney included.
Technically, it wasn't a tip. It was just a drop. But, boy, it was the kind of drop that could have been intercepted. And that one was, in fact. 3rd down and 10. This was a critical drive for Dylan Raiola and Nebraska. I mean, big after what happened in their last series. 3rd down and 10. Raiola lets it fly, and he's got a wide open Ja'Cory Barney. And that listless crowd wakes up immediately. Joshua Eaton. And there is Raiola at his best, a 45-yard gain. Crowd responding because of the lineup being changed. Officials stop play so Michigan State can get their defensive alternatives in. First down out of the gun. Johnson. Emmett Johnson. Downhill for 7 yards. Alex Van Sumeren the stop. Johnson. Cunanan for the extra point to tie the game. Rashawn McCray is back deep. Remember, in the 4th quarter, ball's on the ground. It was lost by the Spartans. Nebraska's got it. The Cornhuskers recover. 35, Mackay by Nelson, on top of it. It was Jay Coyne, not Cam Williams, the other 44. Williams, the tight end, Jay Coyne, and fullback, those were the guys that got crossed up. 4 hands around it, neither of them able to come up with the ball. And the wind, boy, oh boy, we talked about it.
Huge.
It's huge in the special teams game. 2nd and 16.
Wow, I mean, Eckler's got to be smiling from ear to ear.
No
on
doubt.
your birthday, you get a block punt touchdown, and then on the kickoff, the wind just completely stops the ball, and you get it back for your offense.
Out of the shotgun, Raiola lets it fly on the curl to Hunter and Zakiah. Healthy gain. They'll be 4 yards shy of the first down. Isaiah Hunter in the arms of Joshua Eaton, a gain of 12. Third down and 4 now with the wind behind Nebraska to open the 4th quarter.
Look like you're going to get man coverage on this opportunity. You want to get it to your best matchup.
Raiola with time. There's Johnson again. Emmett Johnson, the line to make. He does. And a late Thompson with the stop, and it looks like it's going to be a horse collar to go with it.
Personal foul, illegal horse collar tackle, defense number 9. The penalty's enforced half the distance to the goal from the end of the run and includes an automatic first down.
Add the penalty, you get 14 yards. You got 5 yards on the rush and then an additional bit of yardage on the penalty.
Tim, that's what pre-snap motion does. It gives you an idea of what the coverage is.
The 9 yards for half the distance to the goal. Raiola in the corner, incomplete. For Hunter, Isaiah Hunter, well defended by Malik Spencer, 43.
They go back to zone, and they're right there in position to make the play.
Joe Rossi, the defensive coordinator for Michigan State, prides himself on that. Little pitch to Harburg, nothing doing. Wayne Matthews right on top of that one. 3rd and goal.
It's man-to-man coverage. We saw this earlier in the game. You have an opportunity to the corner route.
Out of the shotgun again. Raiola. Running out of time, he lets it fly, incomplete. You know, he had a receiver momentarily in the back of the end zone. Kiernan for the field goal to take the lead. 6 out of 7 on the year. This is from 27. Got it. Yeah. Take that from a man that's, you know, done a little time losing weight of late. Kai Frazier's in the backfield. His top receiver, Marsh, was in motion. Childs is looking for help. Dumps it off late. It'll be an incomplete pass. Oh, I thought it was. No, they're ruling it a fumble. It's Singleton for a touchdown. I thought that was a forward pass. It was Brandon Parachek was the tight end receiver that couldn't get there. But that looked like a shovel pass to me, in which case that should be brought back.
So it's going to be close. He sticks his foot in the ground.
Yeah, that's a pass.
At about the 18-19, that's a forward pass. Just by a hair, though.
How is
Just
that?
by a hair.
But how do you miss that?
Well, it's close. It's close, and you want to let it play out, right? I like the officials allowing it to play out.
Backward pass is under further
I think it's clear that it was just a smidge in front of where he let the ball go. But if you're Aiden Childs, you're in a position where you start to play well. Sometimes you lose. Throw that ball out of bounds and live to fight for 2nd down.
It was a forward pass. It's incomplete.
Yeah, no question. And I can't wait to get back and talk to him and say, why did Tim Brando call you affable early in the game? That's going to be my question of the game.
Frazier goes ahead for about 6. Just 2 for 11 today on 3rd down conversions. Childs looking for his receiver on a street route, incomplete. McCray shadowed by Sierre Wright. That was outstanding coverage. Sierre Wright is a brilliant football IQ guy. He knows what he can get away with, where the wiggle room is, and I think he got away with some there. I do. But outstanding coverage. Here goes Barney. Here goes Barney. I don't mean Barney Rubble. He may take it the distance. We've got a marker down at the 33. There goes Ja'Cory Barney.
block in the back. Return team, number 29. 10-yard penalties enforced from the Skyler foul. Nebraska's football.
We had a blast out at his place. Want to thank both he and Kara and their family for having our crew out. There's a quick hitter to Hunter. And he's got about 8 yards, maybe 9 on first down. Mater is feeling better right now. Roll out Raiola to Lindemeyer for the first down. Mom and Dad both went to West Point. This young man's getting to play at the big-time Big Ten level. Mills on the reception. Cortez Mills with his first target. Raiola. He was looking for a deep cross. It never opened up. And he pays the price with a sack from Van Sumeren, number 91. 5 sacks now for Michigan State, and they trail by 3. Raiola to Johnson. Emmett Johnson's been steady, very steady for Nebraska today. 3rd down and 8, markers down prior to the snap. Looked like Pritchett moved early.
False start. Offense number 57. 5-yard penalty, they're down.
Highly heralded coming out of G.W. Carver High School in Columbus, Georgia. Raiola, resourceful to Johnson. And Emmett gets it beyond the 45. Stopped by Santiago again. And it is 4th down.
You have to avoid those different situations and take advantage of the opportunities that are given on the field.
Well, let's see if the all Big Ten punter for the last 2 years can help him out here. Yeah, inside the 10 to Omari Kelly. And now Michigan State, down by only 3, has to go a long way against the wind, as was written by Bob Seeger once. Makai Frazier on a stretch play, upended by Andrew Marshall. They'll give him 2.
So well, safety's an opportunity to run the football.
Yeah, look at that play. Frazier buried by Marshall. He read that right away. Brandon Tullis in the backfield. Childs from his end zone. Incomplete. And Michigan State special teams have really let him down. Right now, the biggest play is the muffed kickoff that led to a turnover and more points for Nebraska. Barney from his 43. And Barney will be stopped after a loss of 3 back at the 40. Emmett Johnson is in the backfield. I think he's been the most consistent player that Nebraska's had today on offense. Little bubble screen to Hunter. Isaiah. All day Isaiah. Long. Touchdown, Nebraska. First half, 44 yards total for Nebraska in offense. 44. Second half, 206 total yards. His O-line coach. The lead is up to 10. It probably feels like 20 for Michigan State. Makai Frazier in the backfield. Again, Childs running for his life. Boy, look at that agile nature, stopping and starting. Finally, Winery gets him. 86 yards of offense in the 3rd quarter. Childs had most of that on his own to get that lead. In the 4th quarter so far, 9 total yards of offense and minus 9 yards of offense in the 4th quarter after the 86 in the 3rd. They bring Tal Tolliver in to help with blocking, number 4. And he's under the gun again. Gets away. Incomplete. McCray in the general vicinity. And you can see he's cramping up even now. This one may be for the ball game, and it's over. Lenhart got him. Cameron Lenhart, the junior from Staten Island, off the edge.
It's tempers flaring. For Marsh, you think, I had an opportunity, just give me a shot to make a play. And for Childs, he's like, dude, I've been under pressure all day. I'm trying. Right, so I can understand both perspectives.
In that tone of voice, too, I would imagine.
Of course.
Yes.
Right, tempers are flaring. It's hot down there.
Emmett Johnson, touchdown. see, in golf, if you get 3 straight birdies, it's a turkey. In football, you get 3 touchdowns, it's a hat trick. But I think, as we said at the top of the show, the winner of this game sets themselves up for a run at a difference-making season. Then Northwestern and USC. Alojevic.
And if you're at home, you're watching that schedule, you see it's a long schedule, right? And so Aiden Childs is out of this game because he's been hit plenty.
Yep.
There are no timeouts left. You think that you probably don't have a chance of coming back to this game. Allow your backup quarterback to get in, get some reps, and try to get out of here healthy with Aiden Childs.
Matt Rule is now in his 3rd year. That extra year is big. Flush from the pocket. Well, I like this kid. Belling on the receiving end from Milivojevic. And Milivojevic has been impressive. Played briefly at Western Michigan before moving over here to Michigan State. Seam route caught by Belling, first down. Right, 19 yards. Fade pattern to number 7. 4-7, Tullis. Now they're going to say no. He's at the 1. Beautiful pass. Got to take care of all the viewers. Milivojevic, is he in? Is that a little push there? No, they're not going to give it to him. Oh, now they're giving it to him. See, you got me thinking math, and I don't do math well either.
No, we don't.
In the corner, incomplete.
Tim, with that 2-point conversion attempt, this could get really interesting. If they get this and score and maybe get another one, now you put yourself in a position where you have to get another 2-point conversion.
Yeah. Not to worry. Nebraska's got it.
Yeah, as good as it was for Nebraska, it's rough for Penn State.
Volleyball and football. By the way, they put 92,000 in this building for volleyball.
Yeah.
There are many aspects to Matt Rule's personality that remind me a little bit of Coach Devaney. And then Dr. Tom Osborne, who I had the great honor of meeting and working some of his games. Iowa, that's a rivalry. That's a war at Thanksgiving weekend. It's all ahead for them, but when we were last here and they lost in overtime to Illinois, that sent them in the wrong direction for 5 straight weeks. This could send them in the right direction for 5 straight weeks.